What up? What up? What up?
Wait, hold on.
Okay, all right. Wait
Did it
a
show
minute.
you?
Well, it says live on
I was like,
YouTube, but I don't know if
wait.
it's recording or
Oh,
not.
it does? Okay, good. Okay, live. No, we're not recording. Recording. Three, two.
What up? What up? What up? It's Poke the Blueprint, the host of the number one. Now you know what we can say. We might as well start saying the number one health show. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah,
History is being made right now. Yes, please.
you know what I mean? Because I think about how often we do it and the
Yes,
impact we have,
yes.
because we're co-hosts on Sunday
We
night.
are.
So you know what I think now. I'm
It's
about to
time.
start.
It's time.
I'm about to pass the mantle to you to start
I'm
doing the
so
greet.
excited.
Let's take time.
I
So
love that.
next time you do
I
it.
don't
All
have a
right.
shirt. I need an XI11 shirt. Call your boy and tell him I need a shirt.
Okay. I'll let them know you need an XI11 to properly introduce.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
And I got to work
Um.
the ups. I got to make sure they're good. They got to be right pitches. So I got to practice this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So you on? So you on? But we're back again. I like to take the first couple of seconds of each show to highlight any local brands that I may be wearing. And tonight I'm wearing XI11. He just turned 17 last week, so he's a 17-year-old entrepreneur. And so I encourage everybody to support your local brands. So
Yes.
what do we have on the menu for tonight?
All right. So, One Brilliant Body here. What up, y'all? We get on here every week. We talk about health and wellness. We talk about how it's applicable to your life, how to create opportunities to increase your health and wellness in a way that works for you, in a way that highlights the brilliance of your body. Earlier this week, it was real early this week, y'all, because it's been super busy at the hospital. I talked a little bit about, what was it? Was it wellness insecurity? I don't remember what it was. But I was telling you guys that you have to watch the language that people are using when they speak to you about health and wellness.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no, no, it was shame. It was shame, right? Wellness and shame. So be very, very careful about the way people are speaking to you in regards to your health because they use weaponized shame. That's what it's called. So if you don't know about, you know what? I didn't do a video. So we'll do a quick recap in here because there's no video for you to watch. So I did a video on my story about weaponized shame and how the wellness industry used weaponized shame in order to get you to feel badly about where you are, to feel poorly about yourself, to chip at your self-esteem and cause you to make an irrational decision or a decision that's not necessarily safe for your body. For instance, I'm sure we've all seen this. You know how they have on the news where they talk about health studies and things like that, and then they highlight certain people's, like they'll focus in on their tummy and they'll cut off their face. And I'm like, that's a real person. Like, should you be just
Yeah.
out filming like that? That's not cool. So that's what I'm talking about. So that's weaponized shame because they're looking at people out, maybe they're in like whatever metropolitan city and you're like, oh my God, they could have, what if they saw my stomach or what if they saw my butt or what if they highlighted my cellulite? Like you're human. Those are normal things to have. But they're painting it in a light that makes it feel or look ugly. And then all of a sudden, the next time you see something, the next commercial that comes on is Slim Fast or Tummy Tea or I don't know, a waist trainer. You're like, oh my gosh, I need that because I just saw that study on blah, 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 and I look just like that. So weaponized shame is something that unfortunately the health and wellness industry uses to get us to make these poor decisions that could be damaging to our bodies. So what I was talking about in the video, and I'll talk about I didn't get a chance to go back and talk to you guys about my experience with a waist trainer. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that in this exclusive, of course. And then we'll go into my topic for the day, which is going to be essential oils and detoxification. So, essential oils are such an amazing opportunity for you to detoxify your body because essential oils actually pass the cellular membrane, get right into your cells, and can help you recreate and rebuild new cells in your body, which is really, really awesome because if you have an absorption issues, you guys should have been rolling with me. If you haven't been, check out those videos. Absorption issues are when you can't absorb the nutrients that you're getting from your foods, or maybe you don't have foods that are enough nutritionally dense to give you the nutrients that you need. So there could be a couple different issues that are going on. So again, you guys know how I am. Make sure you're getting the best quality food. I don't care what it is. If you don't want to be vegan, that's your choice. However, whatever you choose to eat, it has to be the best, not better, not cool, not the middle menu. I want it to be the best option available to you. I've also given you guys several times, I've told you it doesn't matter what level you're at. And I always use this example. I don't care if you can afford that dollar burger every single week or every single day. That's all you can afford. That's fine. Take that top bun off, get you some extra veggies, ask them for extra lettuce, ask them for extra tomatoes instead of those fries. See if they have any other vegetables available. Get the zucchini, see if you can get them not as fries, see if you can get them baked or whatever other options they have. There's always an opportunity. Don't get that lemonade, don't get that Sprite. If you're not used to it being not sweet yet, pour half of that mess out and fill it up with some water. Fill it up with some Crystal Geyser or whatever other kind of flavored waters they have out there. But you can always make a decision and start where you are. Now, I want you guys to understand that weaponized shame is something that we all have dealt with. And it's not something we talk about because there's shame around it, right? So for men and women, we think we should look a certain way or we should have a certain aesthetic. And we think that it's supposed to be easy. We think it's supposed to be unconscious. We think we're supposed to eat whatever we want and we're just supposed to magically appear or show up in this world, and it's not supposed to be difficult. Now, that is true to an extent, but the way that it's being presented to us is dangerous to our bodies. So, the way that they've made it to be easy for us is dangerous to our bodies. For instance, I remember people in my family taking Slim Fast, right? You drink 2 shakes and you eat one meal and then voila, right? But think about all of the nutrients that you're missing if you're drinking 2 shakes. So the word meal replacement is only supposed to be used in a hospital under critical care because those patients can't chew, right? If you're in critical care, you can't chew, you can't swallow, you maybe have some GI issues. What do they reach for? Ensure, right? Because Ensure is a product that is created to give synthetic nutrition to people who are urgently in need, not people who are living their daily lives and have functioning teeth and functioning mouths. It's not supposed to be a shortcut. The only reason those people are losing weight in that hospital is because they're getting the bare minimum because they can't consume anything else. While people are looking at, oh, so and so was in the hospital and almost died, but when she got out, girl, did you see us? We're missing it. This person almost lost their life. So they got the
Yeah.
minimum to keep them alive, right? They got the minimum to keep them alive. But instead of us saying, wow, let me do what I need to do to avoid being in a situation where I'm in the hospital, people saw, hey, Ensure makes people lose weight. Oh, let's create something so people can take a shake twice a day. Then we'll tell them to eat dinner. Then they're going to lose weight too.
Yeah.
So now you've severely taken down your nutritional density in foods because you're drinking a shake. It's probably, full of crap. Of course, we know that. FDA, Food and Drug Administration, so they can make a health product, call it a health product. It can say health things all over the front. They put that little asterisk in the back that says this might kill you. They're covered. I'm telling you guys, this is how it works. So think of it as business. Slim Fast don't know nothing about your health history or other companies or other, whatever drinks there are. Same thing with protein shakes. Guys, I've had protein shakes too, but there are certain companies I will absolutely avoid. If you guys want a list, keep rocking with me. I'll share with you some of those. Some companies are really conscious about what they're putting in these blends. These blends are intended to help you fill in gaps. They're not supposed to create a gap for you to fill. So let me say that again. Those things are intended to help you fill in gaps in your life. So areas of opportunity, they're not supposed to make a gap and then fill that gap so you're not getting enough of what you need. So really think cognitively about that. I want you to look more at the people who you're following in regards to health and wellness and think about the way that they're speaking to you. Hope and I talked last week about this one young lady. All of success to her, very happy for her. But the way she speaks to her people, which continues to grow by the thousands every single day, is through weaponized shame. You know it, blah, 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 blah. You know you shouldn't be this and that and the other. You gonna die. So yes, we're like, oh my gosh, wait, what is she talking about? I need to know this
Yeah.
information. But she's making you feel really bad about liking an Oreo. Like it's not that serious. It is, but it's not. The point is, Oreos are a synthetic food. This is what they're made of, right? This is what it does when it gets into your body. Do you still want to eat Oreos? If somebody talked to you like that, you'd probably be like, I guess I could find something better. Instead of,
Yeah.
oh crap, I'm gonna die. I need to buy whatever she's selling. Like it's not even
Oh,
about the Oreo. It's about, go
no,
ahead.
I was going to say it's it's about the process, right? Because if you
Yeah.
shame people, they feel guilty, and if they
Yes.
don't have any hope, they're
Yes.
really not inspired to change because it's like, well, this is all I know, and that's why I love how you
Yes.
are so compassionate to inspire people to make changes where you are. Because the truth of the matter is,
Absolutely.
people may be in financial situations where they have to buy
Yes.
things in bulk to stretch it for
They
a
do.
family. But hey, in the midst of that, think
Mm-hmm.
of different ways you can implement and start working your way
Yes.
towards something better.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And that's incredibly important to me. I don't ever want someone to feel that health and wellness is not in their Y'all, I'm telling you, wealth is your birthright. You have the right to be healthy and wealthy in your body. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you got here. I don't care if you were sick when you were born as a baby. That's a construct of the society. You can always rebuild, boost, create, recreate a new, more brilliant body. You absolutely can. And the fact that your body is brilliant enough to let you know, hey, something's not working. We need some more nutrition. We need some more better choices. Your body lets you know by syndromes, symptoms, diseases, and disorders. I tell people that all the time. Cancer is not something you catch, it's created through your action, through your lifestyle. Diseases are not something you catch, it's created through your lifestyles, through your nutrition, through your choices, through the people that you're around. We all come into this world, and yes, we do have things that our bodies have a propensity for. So, yes, we can be susceptible. Let's take us as Black people. We are more susceptible to inflammatory diseases. Now, let me tell you why. A lot of us don't know why. We're more
Mm,
susceptible to inflammatory diseases because we come from generational trauma. What's one of our biggest generational traumas? Slavery, right? Think
mm,
about that. That was centuries and centuries and centuries of trauma. That trauma recreated our cellular biology. So we're more susceptible to inflammatory diseases, which is why high blood pressure, diabetes, hypertension, chronic stress, PTSD, that literally does run in our veins. So if we
mm.
choose lifestyle choices that will turn on that switch to an inflammatory disease, we don't address it, we continue to live our lives like that, our cellular biology continues to reproduce those behaviors. Now it's not getting enough nutritional density. It's going to grow into disease, cancers, hypertension, high blood pressure, obesity, cortisol levels, brain issues, mental issues. Yes, we do have a propensity, but we also have a choice to stop it. We also have a choice to nourish our bodies. We also have an opportunity to see where we are, decide where we want to go, and then select a lifestyle that supports that. And a lot of us don't know that. And as a health professional, you see what I just did? We just had a conversation about it. I didn't make you feel bad because you like chips and cakes and cookies. Of course we do. They're made to be enjoyed. That's
Yeah.
the point. Our taste buds are made to help us enjoy food. Now, if we're hyper focused on sugar, which is something that we're all addicted to because it's in all of our foods, again, that's not your fault. But you feel bad when somebody says, you still drinking the sugary soda? Well, yeah, it tastes good. I didn't know I was addicted. Wait a minute. So then you keep watching, then you feel bad, right? Oh no, whatever she's selling, I need it because I'm addicted, right? Which isn't fair because you didn't know you were addicted in the first place. My desire is to teach you and help you understand. Sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine, you guys.
Mm.
But again, remember Food and Drug Administration, they work together. So our Food and Drug Administration is very well aware of how addictive sugar is. And they still allow many of our food companies to put it in everything. Guys, it's so difficult to You can't even find a bag of chips without sugar. Think about that. You can't even find a bag of chips without sugar, some form of sugar, even if it's like one, what do they have? 1 gram, 2 gram. That's purposeful. And then the types of salts. Now, salts are created by our body. Salt is a different word. So there are two different types of salts. So we have salts in our bodies that help break down our foods, make it more bioavailable for our body, helps to regulate our acid and alkaline balance. I know a lot of you have heard of that before, Dr. Sebi and other gurus or things like that. So yes, there is an acid and alkaline balance in our bodies. Salt helps with that. We also have pH levels, which are an acid and base that are regulated by the types of salt we consume. And then we also have iodine, which is a natural mineral that we do need in our bodies. Now, what our FDA has done is they've created table salt. They pump it full of unnatural iodine and they tell you that it's a healthy product, right? So we think that the little table salt with the little girl, holding it with the umbrella and the salt's poured out, we're like, oh, because our mind, when we're little, like, oh, that's the good stuff. I ate that when I was little, right? Yeah. So we get older and we buy it. That stuff is crap. It's the worst type of salt to be in your body. It's not bioavailable. It's not good for you. It will dehydrate your organs. It will dehydrate, it gets into your bloodstream and it does all kinds of wonky things because it is lab created. And then if somebody offers sea salt, we're like, oh no, what's that? But that's the actual type of salt that you should have. You should have pink Himalayan salt in your cabinet, and it's cheaper than table salt. You should have gray salt in your cabinet. You should have black salt. All of these salts have fulvic acid and sulfuric acid, all of these things that are incredibly healing to our bodies, incredibly restorative to our bodies, especially as Black people, because we have a propensity for inflammation. I want you guys to know that. And I want you all to think about that. So the same way we come here and, some of us expect our skin is going to be a little bit different. Our hair is going to be a little bit different. It is genetically ingrained in us that the way that we process stress, the way that we process certain thoughts, the way that we process certain environments, the way that we even process certain foods, the way that we absorb tends to be different because of transgenerational trauma. It's just something that happens with us. It happened with us. So it's not something that we can escape. So it doesn't matter. That's why you see people who are billionaires and they still have weight issues, right? Because there's other things that are going on. And then you see people that, are all the way down at different levels, but they know exactly what they need to do in their body, or they have fallen off the deep end, but it's because of their lack of knowledge, not because something's wrong with you. And I think that that's what is incredibly frustrating for me in regards to weaponized shame, is that you don't get the information to make a better decision. You just feel bad for being human, and that's not fair. So there's nothing wrong with you liking soda. If it's something that you taste, of course, the first, we all seen a baby, the first time they get some cake, they're like, oh, what is this? And why have you been keeping it from me? Yes. Why have you been keeping it from me, right? And then they think like, well, if you let me have it yesterday, I should be able to have some today. They don't realize, no, that was your birthday. That's why you got cake. So then, it becomes a whole thing. They taste something else sweet and they're like, wait, this tastes like the cake. What's in here? We've seen them act crazy. They run around, they fall out, all kinds of stuff because it's an addictive substance. As we do the same things. Think about that. Some of us don't get our coffee with the 2 creams and the sugar in the morning. We tripping all day. If it didn't happen by a certain time, some of us even use coffee in order to use the bathroom. So that's the kind of stuff I want you guys to think about. These are not shameful things. That's why I talk about poop. I know some of y'all are like, oh my God, why are you guys talking about poop? Because these are normal conversations we need to be having. Poop is a diagnostic tool. You need to look, you need to see what's going on. You can probably detect or be aware of any type of disease or disorder before your doctor even diagnoses you. And that's the type of relationship I want you to have with your body. I want you to go in with the information. Hey, yesterday I had black stool or bloody stool, or it was green. That is blood potentially, or a liver and bile issue. But a lot of us don't know that because we don't like to have these types of conversations because we haven't gotten the awareness and because of weaponized shame. Weaponized shame teaches you, hey, if you're not pooping enough, take this flat tummy tea every night so you can poop every morning. And you're thinking, oh, okay, I'm doing good for my body because I'm pooping. You're not. You're relying on a tea which is an addictive substance, which is probably damaging your intestines so that you can poop, which is good because you've reduced your toxicity, but you haven't healed the disorder that's in your body, which is way worse.
Mm.
So again, I want you guys to really think cognitively about that. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my waist trainer experience. So I know that a lot of people are into it, both men and women. I know you've seen people use it at the gym. Now, let me tell you the history of where trainers came from. Waist trainers came from back braces. Back braces are intended to support your back and your stomach. So your core is wrapped all the way around. We all think of core, we think of the front. Actually, the core is wrapped all the way around. So if you have a strong back, you usually have a strong tummy. If you have a strong tummy, you usually have a strong back. If you have a weak back, you usually have weak muscles in the stomach because that area is intended to keep you upright, keep you strong, have those shoulders pressed back, pull that tummy in if you need to, bend over, pick up the babies, hug somebody. That's what our core is for, sideways movement, all of that mobility. So back braces were intended to help when there was an injury. What people started to see is that there was more awareness because there's a back brace on. Of course there is, you guys. This is what I want you to understand. This is how simple weaponized shame is. So we have this back brace on, right?
Mhm.
Things are a little bit easier. Oh, that's a little easier to pick stuff up. Oh, so after the injury is done, we still wore the back brace because you could feel when your stomach was fuller, right? So people would eat less. So people started saying, oh, I lost weight because of my back brace. No, there was just a new awareness in your core. So people started to create, weight loss products, weight loss companies, whatever companies started to create products to support you while you were working out. It was still a back brace because it had the boning. At some point, they realized that there was money in this and they started to create back braces, mix them more with corsets, and now you've made a waist trainer. Waist trainers will actually slow down your circulation. They can compress your organs, which is not going to allow you the full functionality of your body. And yes, while you may be in the gym and you feel like you can lift a little bit heavier weight because your core is so supported, you're not actually supporting your core with your muscles. You're supporting your core with binding. So yes, you did a few more a few more lifts, but your body didn't get the benefit of that because all you had on was a binding and you had to keep it on because you wouldn't have been able to do it without it. So your muscles are not getting the direct benefit from you being in that trainer. Now, people thinking that they can transform themselves into a smaller waist because of a binding around their core, that's absolutely not true. You're actually dehydrating yourself, cutting off your circulation, and you can damage your organs. So these are the types of things that I'm talking about. If we go all the way back down to why maybe a person will purchase a waist trainer, it's probably because you felt like you wanted a smaller midsection, but you never addressed if there was a cortisol issue, which comes from stress, right? You never addressed if you understand nutrition, because you probably don't understand how nutrition works, because I'm sure you would have just probably adjusted your nutrition choices so that you can cut some belly fat down. And I want you guys, again, I'm telling you this all the time, think more brilliantly about your body. Please be more respectful, be more, approach yourself with more honor. If you got some belly fat, it's just belly fat. It's just additional opportunity for some more energy. It's an additional opportunity for you to find some higher quality foods. It's an additional opportunity for you to feed yourself more nutrition so that you can burn the body fat that you're desiring to burn. And it's also an opportunity to give yourself some grace. Maybe it's time for you to hire someone. Hey, I've been trying to lose this belly fat for this amount of time. And I don't want you guys to always go to pounds. Remember, we talked about this before. It's not always about, I need to lose 20 pounds or 10 pounds or, grabbing your body like this. Think about that. Think, think about this. If you had someone that you loved and you were naked and they looked at your body and was like, what's all this? They would get beat the F up, right? Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully. So I don't want you doing that to yourself either. So when you're in that mirror and maybe there is a little bit of thicker of some tummy, oh well, it is what it is. We just gonna work it out.
Yeah.
Me and this belly is rolling and this tummy is letting me know that I'm not getting enough movement, I'm not getting enough nutrition, or I'm not getting enough water, or I need to consciously manage my stress levels. That's all it is. But making
Well,
yourself, go ahead.
uh, no, what I was going to say is it goes back to the process, right? Because
Yeah.
I even look back to when I first started the podcast. I can tell that I lost weight. I can tell I
Mhm,
lost weight in my face.
mhm,
I've been changing my diet,
mhm,
cut out the alcohol, which is just super sugary,
mhm,
and
mhm,
you know, I start craving the carbs, and
mhm.
it's just a whole cycle. But not once have I got on the scale and said I want to lose weight. I just said, you
Yes,
know what, I'm gonna make better decisions
yes,
that I know if I continue this over time, that I will feel better, look better, and it will just I will just lose weight automatically because I'm
yeah.
doing the things that supports what my body want to do.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And that's where it's more powerful, right? Because you're not trying to lead your body down a path of weight loss. You're leading your soul and your body down a path of healing, of restoration, of truly focusing on what works for your brilliant body. And you're trusting the process, just like you just said. If you trust the process, if there's an understanding, if there's a mutual respect, right, for your body, you're not going to do things to try to get a shortcut. It's not going to be about a waist trainer. It's not going to be about a tummy tea. It's not going to be about drinking, 2 protein shakes a day when you're starving. Those are the types of things I'm talking about. Nobody
Yeah,
wants to starve and drink a powder. Like, you guys think about that. I don't care what nobody says. Yes, we can make protein shakes taste good, but I promise you, nobody's at night like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make the most amazing protein shake in the morning. Ew. Like, no. Nobody wants to live off protein shakes, which is why I caution you all. If you're looking at a health guru, if you're looking at, um, I don't know, a fitness person or whatever, and every time you see them on their Instagram pictures with their little protein bottle, no, no, they want some food. Like, I'm not trying to hate, but think about that. It is so much better for you to eat like a delicious burger or a delicious piece of pie or cake or cookie or even a delicious salad. I promise you, it's much more enjoyable than you getting a powder, add in some plant milk because it's probably what you're using, or some water, and somebody telling you, oh, you want this, be healthy, make your payments of $79.99 every 2 weeks. No, come on, you guys. Our bodies are meant to be brilliant, and they are brilliant, and they're meant to enjoy foods. So you can choose the highest quality foods for your body so you can live the highest quality life. It's not about restriction, it's about abundance. That's why I'm constantly talking to you guys about nutritional value over these meal plans. You don't need a meal plan, you need a nutrition strategy. If you understand how nutrition works, there's no need for you to try to find a shortcut. Now listen, maybe one day you're rushing out the house. Maybe you rush and you grab you a little protein shake to keep you on track because maybe you didn't get your coffee that morning, or maybe you didn't get
yeah,
to make your smoothie, or like I've showed you guys the inside of my freezer. Make a whole bunch of smoothies and keep them in the freezer. Put them in the fridge at night and grab it in the morning. It's okay to be human, but these
yeah,
are not intended to sustain your life. Powders are not intended to sustain your life. Protein powders. Now, we've talked a little bit about people not having time, people not understanding how to prioritize their health and wealth and nutrition. That's what we're going to talk about now. So, if you do have a negative body image, if you do have a negative relationship with your body, I promise you this is probably as a result of weaponized shame. It may have come from health professionals, it may have come from people in your family. Guys, there are several times in my own family where I've had to check people about what their decision or what they wanted to say about my body. You getting a little thick? Excuse me? Like, that's not the type of conversation you're supposed to have with people you love. You don't know what's going on with me. Maybe I'm on the thickness journey. It could be, right? Or
yeah.
this is where I get to live. There's no reason for you to be talking shit about me. There's no reason for you to be making me feel bad. Now, if there's a genuine concern,
Yeah.
that's different, right? Hey, are you
And
good?
that's a pull you, and
Yes.
that's a pull you to the side conversation. It's not
Yes.
a
Making you shame, right?
yeah,
It's not weaponized shame. Yep. You're absolutely right. So that's what I'm saying. If God doesn't talk to you like that, God is not looking down here like, oh, from my
yeah.
view, son, there. Wait a
Well,
minute.
like even to bring scripture in, right? I was thinking about this
Yeah.
the other day when I was
Yeah.
posting one of the videos. I was thinking it's one scripture that talks about it's the goodness of God that
Yes.
leads men to repentance. So
Absolutely.
it's the goodness when you
The
think
goodness.
about how good He is,
Hmm.
how merciful He is.
Hmm.
That's what leads men to repentance, not
Yes.
the not the bearing down. It's the goodness.
Yes, you better preach, B. You're absolutely right. And that's the way we should honor our bodies, right? Maybe I am
Yeah.
a little heavier, or maybe I am a little thin, because people, it's not always about being too heavy. It can often be about being too thin, like, oh, my face is looking a little, oh, am I eating enough? Maybe I'm not absorbing my nutrition. I'm constantly hungry, but I'm still, I don't know, 97 pounds or 90 pounds, and it's not at a right height, or it's not, it doesn't run in your family, or it's not, something that's normal or natural. Or, I had a lot of clients that have previously had cancers, or previously had some type of diagnosis or disease, and then they finally get over it and they go right back into it. I had one client at one time, she regrew cancer, colon cancer, in her body 3 different times. And by the
Wow.
time she came to me, she was so frustrated. But again, honoring your process. The first time she was like, "Oh, okay, she took it normally. Okay, good, thank you, Lord. I got over it. I got through it." The next time she was like, "Okay, maybe there was some residue. Okay, because that's what doctors tell you. Oh, it could have metastasized, which means it gets through the rest of your body. Okay, maybe it metastasized." By the third time, she was like, "No, this is something I'm doing. So I need to
Mm,
change how I'm choosing to feed my body, because if this
wow.
happened 3 times, it clicked for her. Oh, this is something I'm doing. These are the foods
Yeah.
that I'm choosing. These are the lifestyle behaviors that I'm choosing. Okay, let me find someone to help me, because I don't understand what I'm doing that keeps turning on this cancerous response." That's what I'm talking about. That's how connected I want you to be to your body. What am I doing that's causing this response in my body? And if it's something I don't want to deal with, if you're cool with it, that's your choice. That's your choice with your brilliant body. But if you
Yeah.
desire something better, if you desire to heal, if you desire to restore your body, okay, let me find someone that I can connect with or talk to, or let me get in some books, or let me do some research, and let me figure out how to stop this process with the food choices that I'm making for myself, with the nutrition choices that I'm making for myself, with the lifestyle medicine that I'm choosing for myself.
Mm,
Any
good.
questions? I see a couple of you on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please send in any questions. I'm going to get into our next segment here. We're going to talk a little bit about how essential oils can support you in detoxifying your body, rebuilding, boosting, and also healing, to help you highlight what's going on, and create a plan for yourself, a mini plan at least. All right, let's go on in. Okay, so I put up a link. It'll be available by the end of our talk. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. There will be lots of notes, guys. I'm going to use all these big old fancy words. I paid for them, not you. So if you have questions, please, please, please feel free to drop them and text them to me. Let me make sure I got my comments on. Yes. So please make sure to ask any questions if you have any questions. So I am going to give you, let me see how many I have here. I'll say about 5 different options of essential oils to help you get started in healing and detoxifying and restoring your body, especially during this time of year, especially with COVID, and especially with us needing all of the immune and nutritional support that we can. So, your intestines, your colon, your digestive tract houses 95%, is not, no, sorry, 85% of your immunity cells. So your immune system is not just in one part of your body. It actually is a grouping of systems that work together to keep you healthy. But our immune system is actually what keeps us from invaders, keeps us safe, keeps us healthy. And we build 2,000 new immune cells every 1 minute. So if we're constantly dealing with illness, if we're constantly dealing with disease, if we're constantly sick, if we're constantly having issues, if we are rebuilding cancers or diseases or syndromes or toxicity in our body, there could be an immune issue. It could go all the way down to the way that your cells are reproducing and rebuilding in your body. So I'm going to give you some tips, tools, and strategies to help you manage that and to help you keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself healthy. Okay, so the first thing I am going to recommend to you is one of my favorite, well, actually, it's going to be two of my favorite oils. I use them every single day: lemon oil, lemon essential oil, and lime essential oil. These are awesome products to help keep your body at a state of symbiosis. Symbiosis is balance. Symbiosis is a harmonization of all of your organs working together. So essential oils are 100 to 1,000 times stronger than you eating the actual fruit or the
Oh,
actual plant that it comes from, because there's a large volume of whatever it is, like say lemons. Let's take a large volume of lemons. They're all going to be farm fresh. We're actually taking the lemon, the skin, the peel, the stems, the seeds, the membrane, all of that is getting broken all the way down, and we're getting the essence. Think about that, the essence of that lemon. So every single bit of goodness, anointing that went into that lemon is now
mm,
being broken down into an oil. This is why, again, biblical scripture, this is why oils were so revered in the Bible. It was the essence of the plant, the essence of healing. I talked to you guys about that before. There's biblical scripture. Healing is in the land. Healing is in these bodies. We're both made from land. So there's healing in the land and there's healing in these bodies, right? So the
yeah.
essence of those essential oils were intended to heal you, to restore you, to rebuild you. Essential oils are the only thing. Now, I know I give you guys all kinds of recommendations for things, but I know you guys see me use essential oils all the time. Essential oils are the only product that can pass the cellular membrane without damaging it and actually stimulate, rebuild, heal, restore your mitochondria. No other products can do that. That to
Wow.
me is anointing. That is ancient, right? Because it's the only thing that can do it. It can pass by. So other things, yes, it can pass your cellular membrane, but it'll most likely damage your cell. We don't want to damage cell, but essential oils can actually pass through that thin membrane, get into that cell, and actually allow that cell to either reproduce better and or heal that cell so it'll reproduce more cells. So this is what I'm telling you, essential oils are where it's at, y'all. I use them all the time. I put them in water, put them in my smoothies, I cook with them. I know this is some type of new medicinal technology for some of you, but I promise you, if you try it, it will help you with healing and restoring your brilliant bodies.
Mm,
So, what was I saying? So, lemon and lime oils have a compound called limonene, Limone. You guys can look that up. I tell you guys, check me all the time. I don't want you to just think I'm just up here talking. So, check it out. See what I'm talking about. Make sure I'm the real deal. So, limonene is actually super, super powerful in helping your body. Um, Reduce toxic load. So toxic load, we'll go back. It's a long, I think that was maybe a month ago. We talked about toxic load, maybe a month or two. So check out
yeah.
that video, type in toxic load. I'm sure B has them all in there for you. If not, get on my page, onebrilliantbody.com, or you can come over to my Instagram page, or you can hit up Brandon's Instagram page, ask the questions on the post, put your questions or comments or concerns here as well. So toxic load is a term used to describe how much toxicity you have in your body at any given time. So your toxic load can be high, your toxic load can be low, depending on what you're doing in your life to keep your toxic load high or keep it low. So it's kind of like the parts per million. So how many toxins per pound that you may have in your body at any given time is a good way to explain it. So keeping your toxic load low, keeping it reduced, keeping it like a well-oiled machine, always, it's going to keep you as healthy as you can be at any given time. So usually a lot of us have seen when our toxic loads, think about this, when our toxic load gets high, we usually think we're getting sick, right? We start to feel just off. My nose is stuffy, got a headache, my tummy doesn't feel right, my weight's up or my weight's down, I lost my appetite, I'm exhausted. All of those are indicative that you may have a toxic load issue. You may be you may be highly toxic in your body, and you may not know why. If you go to the doctor and you talk about these types of symptoms, they're probably going to test you. They're going to give you, a diagnosis, and they're going to send you home with some medication. But the truth of the matter is that I've told you guys before. Check out some of the other videos. We live in a highly toxic society because we are living in an industrialized society. So the air quality is not the best, especially now. If you live in a metropolitan city, you're not getting the best available air as well. We're all wearing masks now, so we're not feeling as good. We're not getting as much oxygen as we're used to. So there's a lot of other things that are going on. So for many of us, especially with staying indoors, our toxic load is much higher. So we have a lot more toxicity in our body. And if we're not doing anything to keep that toxic load at a balance to where we're still safe and healthy, your toxicity may be a little bit higher, which is why I'm recommending essential oils to help keep you constantly, you're taking in the good and the bad, we're getting out the bad, taking in the good and the bad, getting out the bad. So there has to be a process that you've created for yourself, just like I've talked about it before. This is a lifelong process. It's never going to go away. You're always going to need to detox. It's going to have to be a part of your human hygiene process. It comes with you being the brilliant owner of a brilliant body. It's a part of the process. Make sure you get enough water, make sure you get enough sleep, make sure you detox your body, make sure you brush your teeth. It's one of those things that goes on that list of things to do. And I want you guys to think of it as an honor, not something that you have to do, something you get to do. You get to preserve this body. You get to take care of this body. You get to nourish this body. You get to heal and restore this body. If you want to change this body, you get to change this body. So really think about empowering yourself to think differently about the things that we desire to do for ourselves and how we're going to approach them, because you have a purpose. That's why you were given a body. God's not just giving them out like, oh, you're good. Here, here, take this one.
Yeah.
Like there's a purpose, there's a reason that you're here. There was an intention in creating you. There was an intention in even awarding you with the body that you've been given. So if you desire for it to operate or function in a different way, you have the opportunity to do that. I want you guys to think about that. Think about, like, literally think about that. Food goes into our body and we build nutrition from it so that we can build a body. Like that's mind blowing to me. I know you guys, I'm super nerdy, I get it. But think about that. We get to enjoy food, and we're not just enjoying food, it's actually building us on the inside so that we can continue on in our purpose. But it tastes so yummy, and we get all these different flavors, and it can actually heal us and it can actually enhance a situation. So there's so many things that you can do. There's so many ways that you can empower yourself to make better decisions, the best decisions. Because I tell you all that all the time, don't just make better decisions, make the best decision every single time for your brilliant body.
Mm.
So focus on those two, lemon and lime. You can use them a number of different ways. I would recommend putting them in your smoothies, making sure you get them in water. One easy way to start, if you're not used to detoxifying your body, or if you're not used to reducing your toxic load, because you want to start with reducing your toxic load if you don't want to jump in, get some 8 to 16 ounces of hot lemon water in the morning and do 1 to 2 drops of lemon or lime, or lemon and lime. Drop it in the water, put some ginger in there, maybe if you like that, and then just sip that in the morning. It'll help you to detoxify your body. It'll help you to clear any bacteria that you have in your mouth out. It will also help you with your peristalsis. We talked about this before. Peristalsis is the movement, the wave-like movement that contracts to allow your food to push down into your stomach. Your stomach uses peristalsis to break down your food. It mixes with enzymes and salts and biles and just enzymes, yeah, enzymes, and then it creates like a, I don't know, like a mix, like a churned mix, a puree of everything that you've eaten. Then it continues down into your small intestines. The nutrition that you need is absorbed from that material, that product, and into your body. So you get everything goes here, B12 over there, B6 over there. We need a little protein over here. That's what your small intestines do. As it continues, that peristalsis continues to move that product down through your body. It gets into your large intestines. Your large intestines is the last area that you absorb any nutrition. So your large intestine is going to absorb any water or any water-like materials. And it's also going to get a teeny bit of whatever's left over if there's anything that's of benefit. Anything that's going to be left over is waste. That waste is your poop. The peristalsis has to be strong enough to push not only a liquid, but now a solid, because all the water, most of the water has been removed, which is why your poop is semi-solid. Okay? So if you have poop that's super duper hard, that means too much water is being absorbed. So that means you may not be getting enough water in or enough nutrients in. So this is why I tell you guys, don't be grossed out by your poop. You need to know what's going on in your body. So if you see
Yeah.
dark stool, that means there could be some blood issues. You could be bleeding. You could be inflamed. There could be scraping, right? If you see a green colored stool, that means you may have a bile issue. Your liver may not be functioning well. If you have fatty stool, if you see like fat or oil in the toilet, you could have an issue with your gallbladder and you're not processing fats the way that you need to, right? Lipid proteins. Fat is a type of protein. So when people are so weird about like, oh my gosh, I have a fat-free diet and this and that and the other, you can't do that because you need fat in your diet. So there's nothing wrong with that. So this is why I'm telling you to look at your food. If you see solid bits, now I'm not talking about corn and I'm not talking about beans. Sometimes it's just the outside part because our body consumes the inside of the corn, our body consumes the inside of the bean, but that husk, that shell on the outside, our bodies don't necessarily need that. But what the reason that is there, because I don't want you guys to think that all of this stuff was just created for no reason. Our food is brilliant and our bodies are brilliant. That casing is actually protecting those nutrients so that it'll get deep enough into our body without us not getting the opportunity to get it. So when it gets inside and it's still covered, that means it can go further in our body. Then it opens up. We get the nutrients out of the inside of that. And then that husk or shell, it gets kicked out like waste. So you're not actually losing out on anything. You think, I didn't digest that corn. Yes, you did. It's empty. I promise you. It's empty. So you guys, like it's amazing. Our bodies are amazing. Our bodies are brilliant. So when it gets down into your intestine, your large intestine, which are your colon, peristalsis still has to be strong enough all the way down. So think about that. Your peristalsis in your body is so strong that if you ate some food, swallowed it, and were upside down, your body would still push that food through your body. It wouldn't come back up. Yeah, that's how strong your body is. So I want you guys to really think more cognitively about that. The only time this doesn't work is with newborns, right? They're just getting started. They're new, right? If they go upside down, it's coming back. So their peristalsis is still working. But you, a full grown adult, you could eat some food and be upside down and your body would still push it the correct direction down and out of your body. Now, if you find that your peristalsis is not strong enough, this is how you will know. You're constantly feeling like the food is coming back up. Okay. It feels stuck or slow from this area to right at the top of your rib cage. It feels stuck or slow, and you're just like, you're trying to get it down. Usually, your peristalsis isn't strong enough. If it hurts, your peristalsis may not be strong enough. If you're feeling like the food is kind of staying in one area, like squeeze, 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 and it's still kind of staying there could be some issues with your peristalsis. And a good rule of thumb is if you have constipation, you probably have a peristalsis issue. Because if you're getting your food all the way down to your intestines and now you can't get it out, there may be some issues with the amount of nutrients that you're taking in, your digestion. You could have damaged digestion. There could be some villi issues, which is an absorption problem, which would be in your small intestines. Or you could have just damaged your colon. Now, it doesn't mean that it can't be healed. I want you guys to understand this. Damage in your intestinal tract, your digestive system, can be healed, but it will take some time because it wasn't created like that. So there will be some nutritional choices that you will need to make. And you also may have some mechanical things that you would need to do a little bit differently that will help aid your body. You could be overloaded with toxins, which is why we're talking about how to reduce your toxic load. So drinking that lemon water in the morning will help, as well as making sure that you create other opportunities for nutrition throughout the day. Okay? So that's lemon or lime. Make sure you get it in the morning. You can put it throughout the day if you want. If you're going to add essential oils, please, please, please remember glass cup or bottle or a stainless steel cup or bottle only. Essential oils are 100 to 1,000 times stronger than the plant or plant foods that we're going to eat, which means they can break down plastics. I don't want you to put it in a plastic bottle. It's going to be melting on the inside. Then you're going to start to ingest plastic. Okay. So that's why I say that. So don't put them in the baby bottles. I mean, you can put it in a baby bottle that's glass, but again, that nipple is plastic. So don't do that. If they have a sippy cup, it has to be one of those that are full metal or full glass, and you're just going to, let them have a little bit and then let them go run around. But please, please, please be very, very careful. Also, if you're going to be dosing to a baby or child, make sure you do 1 drop to 16 or more ounces. So we're going to be very, very careful with them because their bodies are still developing. Our bodies are strong enough to handle and process. But remember, they're tinier pound per pound they don't need as much as we need. And essential oils are already highly, highly, highly concentrated, which is a good thing, but they don't need as much as we do. Okay. So now, any questions or concerns? I'm going to keep moving on along. Okay. All right. So the next thing I am going to recommend is a complex. Oh, thank you for watching. Any questions or concerns about anything for you guys that just came on? Please drop them in here and then I will respond. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. And I'll respond. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to recommend is called Zendocrine, right? Detoxification complex. So this is actually a complex that's made by doTERRA, which is awesome. So if you choose not to purchase doTERRA oils, perfectly fine. Any oil that you purchase that's going to be going into your body, passing your cellular membrane, because we talked about that, it has to be therapeutic grade and it has to be food grade, not one or the other. It needs to be both. Again, I've told you guys several times, you deserve the best. Don't get these cheap essential oils that in a few months it's hard or it's starting to gum up on the top, right? You see the plastic melting, you're like, ooh. Anytime you see an essential oil and it says essential oil and it's in a plastic container, it's not an essential oil, I promise you, because it will melt the container. Also, a good rule of thumb is if you get a lemon essential oil, you know that Goo Gone that we all use to take the sticky part off of when we take a label off and it's sticky? Lemon essential oil does it way better and in less time. That is how strong essential oils are. So I want you to think about that. Anything that takes any sticky off of anything, and you're not going to damage your hands. It's not going to get all over the place. So they're awesome. They're awesome products. So Zendocrine is made by doTERRA. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. So Zendocrine is a detoxification complex. It comes in a veggie capsule. Yes, they are vegan. Everything that I'm recommending to you is going to be plant-based. Now, I am not trying to make you vegan. I don't care if you want to be vegan or not. How I do care is that you get the best quality support for your body. Plant foods are always going to be the best and highest quality support for your body. It just is what it is. Can't take that up with me, take it up with the Lord. He created it for us to be that way. Now, if you choose to eat animal product, again, this needs to be the best quality sources. Again, I'm telling you to take this up with the Lord. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you want to get you a steak, a big old slab, a tomahawk. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I want you to eat it and enjoy it. But it needs to be the best quality source. It needs to be antibiotic free and it needs to be hormone free because again, you deserve the best. You're taking these foods in, you're going to make it a part of your body. It needs to be the best. You need to give your body the best, the absolute best foods. Okay. And everything that's used in that product needs to be the best quality as well. So that is, let's go back. So the key ingredients in the Zendocrine complex is tangerine peel. Again, it has that brilliant limonene in it, super powerful for boosting your cellular membranes and your cellular walls and the cellular rejuvenation that's required to allow your body to shed toxicity. Rosemary flower and leaf helps to support healthy liver function. Now listen, the biggest organ in our body is our liver. I know a lot of us don't know that. It's about the size of a football and it just kind of sits back there. It's got two separate parts. A lot of us don't know that. So it has two different, they're called nodes. So there's one node and then another node and it kind of makes that kind of shape on the inside of the body. But our liver is dedicated to detoxification of our body, which is why our liver is so highly affected when we drink alcohol. Now, guys, listen, every once in a while I get it. A few here and there, I even get that. But be very, very, very careful when you're overloading your body with alcohol because it's highly processed in your liver, which is why you can get cirrhosis, you can cause other damage, and often why our bodies metabolize alcohol as fat because our body doesn't know what to do with that. So it kind of encapsulates it and it's just like, I don't know what that is. So you drink it too much of it, let me stick it over here. And that's why people tend towards getting fat. So it doesn't mean that alcohol necessarily makes you fat, but because you're overloading your body, because a sip here, a drink there, a drink two, a drinks with the guys every week isn't even bad. But when you overload and you're logging your body, it will damage your liver. Your body has to encapsulate it and kind of stick it somewhere because it's like, this is too much. I don't know what to do with that. And it can also cause issues in your brain. So really think cognitively about that. But again, like I've said before, I don't want you to think of your body as just one set of systems. Think about what's actually going on. It's a full system. Am I drinking too much? What's really going on with me? Right? Because it's not at that point, there's something else going on. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? Be brilliant with yourself. Choose to be honest. I'm doing this a little too much. I'm trying to hide it in this cup now. I'm feeling shame around it. There's something else that's going on. And am I ready to be honest about this? Because sometimes you're not. So
Yeah.
be honest about that. Sometimes, do I want some help with this yet? Or am I still going to wallow in pity? Or am I still going to deal with this privately? Or should I tell one person? Let me ask Ty anonymously. You have that choice. But there could be something else that's going on. But again,
And for
I
a friend.
yes, yes, absolutely. Again, I don't want you guys to fall into the trap of weaponized shame. And that's where that comes from. And it's super frustrating because it will kill you, right? We've seen so many people, like I've seen so many stories as of recently, where last week, they were sitting up there with their little tummy tea and with their little container of protein shake. And then this week, there's this big old long post about how they were ready to commit suicide. And I'm like, see, you guys don't really know what's going on. You have to
Yeah.
continue this open conversation with yourself. And if you don't have that type of conversation with yourself, guys, I'm here. This is what I do. So ask me some questions. Say it's for a friend. I'm cool. I will make sure your friend is good because I'll support them too. But I really don't want you guys to feel alone in this process because there weaponized shame is everywhere. People will try to make you feel bad about everything when we truly and honestly live in an addictive society that doesn't have these types of discussions, but will make you feel bad about not having these types of discussions. That's a shame spiral and it will kill you. So be completely honest with yourself. Am I drinking a little too much? Am I addicted to sugar? Am I addicted to meat? Do I overeat every single time I sit down? That's an issue as well. A lot of us don't know that. Sometimes you've overeaten so many times, so long in your life, you don't realize you've overeaten until you get up and you're like, crap, I did it again. That's
Yeah.
normal. That's normal. But we don't talk about that. We're just like, how come you didn't know you had too much food? Right? Then you feel bad. You're like, oh. Instead
Right.
of, well, I just didn't know, right? I didn't know. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. I tell you guys all the time, you've never owned a body before. This is your first one. You're gonna screw some things up, and we're here to help each other, right? You've never been at this day and time in history before. We're learning together, and that's okay. Ask questions, get the information, choose what you desire for your life, and let's work through it together. That's what this is for. That's a part of the process and a part of the journey. All right, geranium. So geranium supports the body's natural ability to rid itself of toxins. So this is just additional toxic load reduction support. Geranium's awesome too, because again, like I said, it passes the cellular membrane, it smells good, it actually will internally deodorize your body. So
Mm.
when we have so many toxins inside of us, our sweat can smell really, really gross. I know a lot of people don't talk about this. Guys, I talk about all the girly stuff, poop, sweat, all that. I got you. So one thing that you guys don't know about me is I don't wear deodorant. I don't have to. It's not something I usually do. If I put
Wow.
deodorant on, it's probably because I'm looking around in the bathroom. I'm like, this is normal. Let me put some deodorant on. But because I've created a lifestyle of constantly detoxifying myself, when you guys see me working out, because I know y'all be seeing me, I go hard. I be in there and I don't have any deodorant on. And yes, I am drippy and sweaty, but I'm not stinky. And that's just because of the cellular respiration of my body. And that's because I've been able to create an opportunity for my body to be constantly detoxing so my body doesn't push out toxicity in that way through sweat
Mm.
in a way that has been tainted with bacteria, I should say. It's because that bacteria doesn't affect me in that way anymore. At a time it did. Y'all, when I did my first detox, sweaty, stinky mess.
Mm.
Nobody needed to be there but me and the Lord. But getting all of that toxicity out of your body, out of your lymphatic cells, that lymphatic drainage that happens because you get super sweaty, you get headaches, your breath stinks, you get a coating over your tongue. So that's what I'm telling
Yeah.
you. Don't believe these people who are like, I'm detoxing, and they got this cute little box of pills and they're all smiling and they're running through the forest and leaves. Girl, no. I could barely get up off of the floor in my bathroom because I was puking and pooping, which is good, but it didn't feel good. I needed water because I was dehydrated. The t-shirt I was wearing was drenched with sticky sweat because I was detoxifying. But it's so it's unfortunate that when we see someone that we think, or in movies, we should say, or if you've been around someone who's had to detoxify, we feel so bad for them. Like, oh, it's okay. You're going to get through this, right? From a drug, right? We're like, it's okay. You're going to get through this. That's normal. But if we're detoxifying from the toxins in our food, we're like, ew, what's wrong with you? No, it's the same process. Toxicity is toxicity. It will damage you whether it comes from a pipe or whether it comes on a plate from McDonald's or in some cookies or bread or some, Oreos that you're exposed to. Guys, I mentioned Oreos because y'all be quick to tell me Oreos are vegan. I heard they're vegan. Yeah, they are. Vegan doesn't mean healthy. Vegan just means there's no animal product. So vegan options are not always the best as well. So this is why I'm telling you, be more intelligent, be more brilliant about the choices you make for your body. You can't just say, fine, I'll be vegan, because you will still die from high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes. You will, if you're not conscious about the nutritional choices that you're making for your body. That's what I want you to do. It's not about a certain diet over the other. And veganism is actually a healing matrix plan. That's what it's intended to be. But people get on bandwagons and they're like, so if you see anybody, I know I'm not to put anybody on blast, but if you see somebody lose weight in 30 days being vegan, no, that's not real. It's not true. And it's a play on words, weaponized shame to make you feel bad, because what they're actually saying is you're fat because you're not vegan, but that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. And again, I told y'all, stop letting people talk to you like that about your brilliant body, right? It's not cool. It's out of line. So if
Yeah,
someone can't help you to understand how to increase your nutrition and increase your nutritional profile in a way that helps your body heal, restore, and rebuild, that's a different pursuit. Okay? Think about that. So my intention is never to help you lose weight. I'm never going to help you lose weight. I'm telling you that. So if you're thinking of let me hire her so I can lose some weight, that's not what we're doing. I'm going to teach you how to choose the best products for yourself. Weight loss is going to be a side effect because we're going to choose health and wellness. Okay?
yes,
So I'm
yes,
never going
yes.
to tell you you're too big. I'm never going to tell you you're too small. But what I am going to do is help you examine what's going on in your life, help you examine what's going on your plate, help you examine if you're constantly overeating. We're going to figure out what that's connected to, and your body is going to lead you down a path of healing. That's the intention here. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I'm going to respect your body conversation with you and teach you how to decipher that language so that you're healthy and wealthy for the rest of your life, throughout the duration of your life, in a way that you desire to be. All right. So yeah, we always get off in there. Somebody need that. So take it. All right. So juniper berry. Juniper berries are awesome. I know they smell really good. So a lot of these things, I know you guys are like, those are flowers. I know. Isn't that amazing? The body is brilliant. These are things that we wouldn't normally eat. A lot of this stuff is even told to us that it's not edible, but these items are actually intended to help us. God put us here and then pre-downloaded all of this good stuff to help us constantly heal these bodies. So you guys, be more aware of what's around you. There's healing. You can heal your body. You can restore your body. What's going on with your body now is probably because of dyssymbiosis. Remember, I talked about that a little bit in the beginning. It's the opposite of symbiosis, which means all of your organs are working in harmony to keep you healthy. Dyssymbiosis means you probably have some inflammation, some inflammatory responses, and or some disorders that are going on. So dyssymbiosis is what we're trying to come up against. We're trying to restore. We're trying to undo so that we can rebuild and heal your body. So geranium actually helps to support your, I'm sorry, not geranium, juniper berry helps to support healthy kidneys. Now, healthy kidneys are a part of your excretory system, which includes how you balance your salts and then also how you urinate. Okay, so we don't often talk a lot about our kidneys unless there's a problem. but you don't want problems with your kidneys, you guys. So I've seen people suffer with kidney stones and all kinds of other issues, blood in the urine, damage to the kidneys. The kidneys are super duper delicate. So any type of support that you could provide your kidneys is going to help you. Any type of restorative properties from the food that you're consuming, from the water that you're getting. That's why I constantly, people often like, hey, can I get some water? It's got essential oils in it. Like, that's just how I support my body, especially my kidneys. You want to keep that balance. Bringing in water into your, as well as your sweat. So a lot of us don't know, all of that's our excretory system. So your body pushes out toxins in a number of different ways. They're called detox pathways. Our lymphatic system, we have drainage. That's why we get sweaty pits. That's why we can get sweat between the pecs, or sweat between the boobs, sweat down in our groin area, sweat between the butt, all that stuff, sweat behind your knees. Those are all different spots up here in the neck, sometimes on the head. All of that is a detoxification opportunity. So your body's actually detoxing when it does that. And juniper berry will help to support the kidneys and also to help to support a detoxification in that way. So cilantro leaf helps to support the body's natural processes of eliminating toxins. So this is actually just another overall opportunity to help your body with any detoxification process that it does, which happens every single day. I've talked to you guys about that. So those night hours where you sleep, your body does the highest amount of detoxification. So that's why it's very, very important to try not to eat 3 hours before you go to sleep. And it's also very important to wait until your body has had your first poop, or you can do the 12 hours before you break your fast. Now, I know a lot of people insist on intermittent fasting. There's nothing wrong with intermittent fasting. However, if the energy you're putting into intermittent fasting is actually you starving yourself, then that's a problem. Remember, I talked about this before. I don't want you following a trend. I don't want you doing something that really is an underlying sneaky kind of way so that you could lose some weight. If you need to understand how nutrition works, get some help, get the information, do your research, but don't damage or starve your body trying to follow what somebody told you, what some guru said, what Dr. Blankety Blank said, or what somebody told you that you should be doing. Now, there are some days where, yes, I will do my 12 hours, and there are some days where I don't. Watch the previous video. Some days, me and my body have a relationship to where one day I woke up and my body was like, I need some food now, right now. And that's not my usual. So I was like, oh, wait, maybe that's just me. Nope, now. I don't want no juice. I want some food. And I was like, okay, well, that's what we doing. So that's the type of relationship I want you to have with your body. I don't want you to adhere to all of what you hear in the world. You shouldn't be eating before 12 hours. You need to intermittent fast. That's the only way you're going to do A, B, and C. It comes from, and it was a video I did a couple weeks ago, so check that out. It comes from autophagy. Autophagy is when your body actually breaks down its cells and it actually uses new cells to eat whatever broken down cells were, break them apart and reuse them to build your body up again. So that's what autophagy is. Autophagy happens from 12 to 20 hours after your last meal. So from no meals at all. So what people found out is that, oh, if I don't eat, I can induce autophagy or induce ketosis. But that's not a natural process. Think about this. It's not a natural process if you induce it. Think about that. So a woman can go into labor, but a woman can be induced, right? It's still labor, but one's natural and one's an unnatural process. And let's talk about this. The unnatural process is not going to give you the natural result. So it's going to be more difficult and it may be more challenging to your body because it was a forced response as opposed to honoring a natural response. This is again why I'm telling you, please, please, please watch who you're listening to, watch who you're talking to, watch the gurus that you're trusting, the experts that you're trusting with your brilliant body. So yes, you can do intermittent fasting, but you're forcing a process which can damage your body. So if your body is saying, like I had a couple weeks ago, last week, I need some food now. That means there was some work that was done overnight that I don't know nothing about. And I'm not going to sit up there and starve my body when it's needing something from me. Your body only requests nutrients from you. Think about that, you guys. Don't make yourself feel bad. Think about how simple that is. Your body is requesting, hey, I need some water. Excuse me, I need some food. Excuse me, can we get a little something sweet? Right? It's really, really quite simple. It really, but we feel so bad, right? We're like, no, I can't eat. Oh my God, I'm starving. No, no, it's not on my diet plan. Like, don't make this hard. Don't make it hard, you guys. Your body is not asking you for something unnatural. And if it is, please seek some support. Please. I don't want to see you on the news. But think about this, you guys. We're mistreating our bodies. We're not being gentle. We're not being comforting. We're not honoring our body's requests, right? You don't get mad because your body wants some food. You go get some food. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, follow the guidelines that I've given you, the best quality sources. Make sure it has enough ABC, whatever vitamins or nutrients. Make sure it's in the best company, right? Make sure it's at a beautiful location. If it's something that you have to cook for yourself, get the best quality everything and make it a meal, right? So don't give yourself a hard time about wanting food. You're human. You're supposed to want a food. Like, it's a pleasure and a need, and that's okay. Just like with water. If you don't, I've told you guys before, sometimes I'm cool with water. Sometimes I could taste when I don't want this. So again, my essential oils, put them essential oils in there. Make sure you get the best quality sources. Make sure you're honoring your body. Make sure it's something you enjoy. That's the only way you're going to stick to it. Just like with movement. Maybe if you don't want to call it exercise, don't call it exercise. If you don't like it, that's okay. Find something you enjoy, because that's the only way that you're going to stick to it. That's the only way it's going to ingrain into your life. That's the only way it's going to feel good. But again, think of all of those as opportunities to nourish yourself, right? Honor your body. All right. And then one other, I think that was all of them actually. Lemon lime, zendecrine. I think we talked a little bit about oregano before, but I really don't want you guys using oregano without being in some type of program. So please be very, very careful with oregano because you can damage your body. Now, I'll give you a quick talk because you have the right to make, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have the right to make these choices for yourself, but I'm going to give you the information so that if you would like to work with me or get some more information, you can. Oregano is a highly, highly powerful antifungal, anti-carcinogen, which means anti-cancer, antibacterial, okay, and anti-inflammatory, which is awesome. Big four, we need that. So anytime you guys are looking for something to help you with your body, think about that big four: anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-carcinogenic, and antifungal, okay? So no fungus, no bacteria, reduces inflammation and reduces your opportunity to rebuild cancer cells. So fun fact, not so fun, but actually it is fun because your immune system is amazing. So we come in contact with cancer every single day. Every single day, I promise you guys. So your body comes in contact with cancerous cells every single day, and your brilliant immune system handles it every single day. Now, for some of us, unfortunately, there comes a day where that one day we didn't handle it. It got absorbed and we reproduced cancer, okay? So that means that there's an immune system issue because the same things that our immune system kills, it can also take in and it can overtake us and rebuild more cells. So please be very, very careful about feeling like you caught cancer. You don't catch cancer, you rebuild cancer. You create cancer with your choices. So this is what I'm saying. I want you to get to a place where symbiosis is always on your mind. How can I support my body? Because I want to blank, whatever it is you desire to do for yourself. How can I support my body? Because I want to, I don't know, see my grandkids or see my great grandkids or turn this side hustle into a multi-billion-dollar business or change the world, whatever it is, your noble pursuit. Think about that and let that be your goal. Let that be your why. Let that be your focus. So back to oregano. Oregano oil is very, very good, but when you use it, if you choose to do so, I only want you to use it for 10 days at a time, okay? I want you to only use it in 16 ounces of water or more, one drop. Now, it is it's incredibly powerful. It can burn your skin. So don't put it directly on your skin. Use it in a carrier oil if you're going to use it. I only would like for you to use it if you're having digestive issues and or skin issues. because that's an immune system problem. And you're going to make sure that you use a carrier oil, like I said, or pure water, or in a whole fruit juice. What I mean by whole fruit juice is not some juice you bought at the store. That's not real juice. Don't drink that. So don't go get no Mott's apple juice and put the drop. Don't do that. That's not real juice. It's not real juice. So get you an apple, core it out. Take the seeds out if you want. I know that tends to be controversial. People think that the seeds, they do have a little bit of that can be poisonous to the body, but it's not necessarily so. But take the seeds out just to be safe, because I don't want nobody saying, Tarnisia said I could eat the seeds and then I almost died. I have insurance for myself. We're not doing that. So take the seeds out to be safe. Make sure you blend it up with some pure water. I recommend alkaline water. I always am going to recommend alkaline water or natural spring alkaline water, because there are natural waters that are alkaline. Blend that up, put you a drop in, and drink that. So you're only going to do that for 10 days. Do not put several drops throughout the day. I don't know your body. You guys have not hired me. We're not working directly together. If you have a health professional that you'd like to talk to that permits you the opportunity to learn more about functional nutrition, then work with them. Let them know exactly what you're intending to do. But really be very, very careful, because you don't want to kill all of the good and bad bacteria in your body, which happens after 10 days. If you're not being monitored, you can kill the good bacteria, and that's not what I want you to do. So oregano oil can be used for candida, eczema, skin issues, psoriasis, any type of internal issues that you may be having an imbalance, any dyssymbiosis. Maybe you're not building enough bacteria. Maybe you're having bacterial issues. Maybe you're having constipation, diarrhea, parasites. It's very, very good for those types of issues. So that's why I want you to use it for a very specific process and be very, very careful when you use it. So there's my disclaimer on that. So that is everything, y'all. I got a link up for you that I'm gonna put up for you if you want to purchase these products. I put them all together, so if you get to the basket and you're like, I want this but not this, just take it out of your cart. You will get a discount for purchasing, but I want you to begin to incorporate these things into your diet and nutrition. This is the time, I've told you guys before, it's time to build your immune system. It's time to rebuild your immune system. It's time for you to rebuild a nutrition strategy. So eating at the little mall ain't gonna work no more. Being conscious about what you need to put in your body is what you need to be doing. COVID's not going anywhere. Okay. Yes, it could have been avoided. Yes, they effed up. Yes, we're pissed about it. But now what are you going to do to take care of your body? That's the question that I want you to stay focused on. So don't let them take this beautiful life that you have for yourself, and don't let them choose and make choices for your brilliant body that you're not a part of. So I really want you to support yourself. Whether you choose the vaccine or not, you still have to support your body. Okay, you still have to detoxify your body. You still get to live in this brilliant body. So please don't let what's going on in our world take away from the beauty that is your brilliant body. So please, I'm gonna put up this link. If you can check it out on my link tree, I'll add it to this live, and I'll also add it to YouTube, and then Pope will add it to our interview. If you guys have any questions, let me check. Drop them now. How'd you feel about that, Pope? That was a good one.
No, I enjoyed it. It's amazing because it's everything is just really starting to come together, right? How we break different subjects down, and now it's just accumulating together, right? And so I'm just learning so much. I'm hearing things over and over again, and it's like, okay, we're making the best decisions for ourselves because we're thinking long term. So we're not going to put it off. We're going to start today and take those steps
right where you are.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important to me that you all not get overwhelmed. And it really bothers me. I keep talking about this. Weaponized shame frustrates me so much because I remember being in that type of environment. And it happens to most of us because most of us started out as athletes, right? We're in school. We're trying to get on the team. We're constantly told about cutting weight, don't gain too many pounds, drink orange juice all morning. Like, we're taught these subtle jabs all throughout our lives as teens. And then we get older, and then all of a sudden, no one has taught us nutrition as a skill set. That's important to me. Nutrition is a skill set, the same way you learn to balance a checkbook or how to read your bank deposit statement or how much money comes out of your check or how your taxes work. The same skill set, the same things that you need, or how to write a paper, right? We had a template for that. You need a skill set for your wellness too. And nobody's doing that. Nobody's providing us with that. And then when you go to the doctor, you're shamed because why are you overweight? Oh, you're in the obese category. Excuse me? Well, I'm going to give you this prescription so you can lose some weight. What prescription? Why do I need a prescription to lose weight? Like, wait a minute. Do I have a choice in this? And it's super frustrating, right? They will give you so many. I do have a Facebook group. It's a couple of Facebook groups, so it depends on which one you're interested in. My general one is One Brilliant Body. I also have a Brilliant Bodies immunity group, so you can join either one of those. I think I don't know if I'm broadcasting on One Brilliant Body, but please feel free to join. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know if you have any questions. But yes, it's the way our society is set up. So we don't have the information we need to make the best decision. Then we get to our medical professional and then they shame you because you didn't get the information. And you're like, well, where was it? Where was it? Like even in gym class, right? Like you and I are old enough to know that there was a gym class at one point, right? There was nutrition at one point, but then they became electives. Now what are we supposed to do? Nobody elects for that unless you're a nutrition nerd like me, right? But otherwise, most people are like, I don't want to go to that class. I'm going to pottery or I'm going to DJ mixing class, right? At the snooty schools, right? I want DJ class. That's what I'm going to do. Nobody wants to go to nutrition class unless you desire it. But it is a skill set. Many of us get out, many of us get through college on pizza because pizza is on campus, right? It is. It's just readily available. All I need to do is be alive so I can get through these next 4 years so that I could make better decisions. But you created all of this pattern of poor decisions because there was no skill set, right? Nobody told me that I was falling asleep on my computer because I just filled myself with bread and cheese, right? So these are the skills that we didn't get, right? And then we go for Thanksgiving. Big Mama didn't tell me, mine did, but most didn't tell you that, hey, baby, this food doesn't work for your body. It's nothing wrong with you. It just doesn't work. Nobody, that we didn't get it. This is how my family eats. This is what I'm supposed to eat. What do you mean I'm gaining weight? Oh, okay, strokes run in the family. Oh, okay, I guess I'll expect my stroke around 40 then. Fine. But we didn't know we had a choice, right? When you realize you have a choice, you're like, oh, I don't have to wait. How? How come nobody told me? And then when you start to lose family members, right, from the same thing, you really start to think about like, is there something I could do about this? Or this is scary. So it's very important for me to help us, especially, understand that health and wellness, taking care of this brilliant body, I constantly say it, on being the owner of this brilliant body, there's a skill set that's required. There's a manual, right? There's a manual, and the manual is internal. So it's a little bit more difficult to figure out.
Um, what I love about the skill set too, for the parents, when you can teach your kids the skill sets early,
Yes.
right? And then so they can be proactive as they're
Hmm.
growing up
Hmm.
to not even skate around certain things
Hmm.
that they have to work themselves out of
Yeah.
because they're walking in a state of divine health.
Absolutely. You never taught them addiction, right? Because they won't have an addiction issue. There won't be a sugar problem. They'll be like, "Ooh, that's sweet. What is that? Ew, it's ill, right? Not ooh, yay, right?" When they see their friends all going to McDonald's, they're like, "Can we go somewhere else? Like, this what y'all eat?" And you see them, right? They stick out when you meet a kid like that. They're like, "Well, actually, I just want some carrots and like, do we have to eat this?" And you're like, whose kid is this shaming me? Right? Right? But it's
Yeah.
so refreshing because there's a clear understanding, right? Just like when parents, which I love now, I see a lot of parents who write out, my kid doesn't eat red dye number 4, yellow dye number 2. Please don't feed my child GMO. Like, I don't know. It's frustrating to me that those parents are called heretics or difficult when they're allowed to help protect this brilliant body that they just created, right? That's
Yeah.
their child.
Yeah.
So you're constantly made to feel bad by exerting power and protection over your brilliant body when that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So
Yeah.
I just truly want to empower you all. I'm so glad you all tune in. Thank you so much for being here. I want to empower you all. I want to empower us to use and understand health and wellness as a skill set. You have the right, you have the responsibility, you have the gift to choose wellness for yourself, right? Your mental health, your spiritual health, emotional, cellular, all of that. It is an honor to live in this body. It's an honor to experience in this body. It's an honor to feel good. Like, that's the point. You shouldn't have to
Yeah.
feel bad. Even in the size, if you're a certain size that you don't desire to meet, there's nothing wrong with that. That just means you picked up some extra here and there from this world who's not giving you the information that you need. There's no reason for you to be shamed. You were fine when you were put on this earth. Doesn't matter what size you are. It's not about your size. It's about, how are you feeling? How do you choose to deliver your gift? How do you desire to deliver your gift? The whatever is inside of you that needs to be delivered, that's what we are supposed to be honoring here. And the reason we're not able to is because we're being taken out by diseases that are 100% preventable, because we're not using healthcare as a skill set. And the people that we're looking to, who are supposed to be our health professionals, are shaming us for not understanding healthcare as a skill set. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I hope you got some good info. Please implement it. I'm going to put up the link so that you can make your purchase. And I will see you next week, same time. Anything else, sir?
No, we're good. Peace.
All right. Guys, send me questions if you had. I'll leave it up for a little bit. So send me questions. You were going to say something, B?
No, no, no. That was good.
All right. Let me turn this off.